Leya Musunga. Over to you, Ms. Leya.
Thank you so much for that, Matidiso, opening the meeting for us. And I want to say Happy New Year. Still the 13th, we can continue saying that. Welcome to 2026 and our first meeting of the year. We've been on a short break. It feels like it has been a very long time, but we are back and we are excited to continue with our public speaking goals or whatever it is that we want to pursue in Toastmasters. So I'm very, very thankful for all the people who are on the call right now, joining us in and around Gaborone and even beyond the borders. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. I would then like to call to the virtual stage our Toastmaster of the day, basically the MC. And before I call her to the stage, I just want to share with you a little bit about her because she's the one who would basically be running the meeting. I just came here just to say welcome. So our Toastmaster of the day is none other than our Vice President of Public Relations. So if you came here because you saw a poster, she's the one who is responsible for that. So it's none other than Tumelo Maphalala, who is a biologist by profession and is currently employed by a pharmaceutical manufacturing company. In Toastmasters, she is the Vice President of Public Relations, and she's also the immediate past president of the club, as well as the current area director for Botswana. Tumelo is passionate about leadership, communication, and personal growth. Outside of work, she enjoys reading and engaging in meaningful conversations. With your virtual hands or whatever it is, please, a round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Tumelo Maphalala.
Thank you so much, Madam President, for that warm welcome. Good evening, Gaborone Toastmasters Club, visiting Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. As our President said, it's still the 13th. We can say Happy New Year. So Happy New Year. People say New Year, new me. I believe it's a new year, but the same old Gaborone Toastmasters Club where we support the growth of our members as well as encourage our community to try and prioritize personal development. Welcome to our very first meeting of the year, themed New Beginnings and Intention. A new year always arrives with promise, not because time has changed, but because we get the opportunity to choose again, to choose growth, to choose courage, and to choose intention. I heard one member say they couldn't miss this meeting, the first of the year. So therefore, indeed, new beginnings and intention. There's a quote I came across from Zig Ziglar that says, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Tonight, as we begin this new chapter together of 2026, may we focus not only on what we want to accomplish this year, but also who we are becoming in the process. So Toastmasters is a place where intention meets action. With every speech, every table topic, every evaluation, it's a deliberate step towards becoming a better communicator, a stronger leader, and deepening your self-awareness. As we move through tonight's meeting, I invite you all to be present, to participate boldly, and to approach this year with purpose. Let tonight be the foundation upon which we build a year of meaningful growth. So welcome once more. And as usual, we start off with a tradition here at Toastmasters. We have what we call the toast of the day. I'll also be giving the toast of the day. So please grab your cup, your coffee mug, your juice, your wine, anything close, or even a fake glass to just partake in this here toast. Please raise your glasses. Here's to new beginnings, where lessons from our past guide us forward. Here's to intention, where we choose growth, show up with purpose, and commit to becoming better than we were yesterday or even last year. As Ralph Waldo Emerson reminds us, write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. To a year of clarity, courage, and intentional progress. Cheers! Thank you so much, Gaborone Toastmasters Club. Let's continue. As your Toastmaster of the Day, it is my role to take you through the program. But I'm not alone. I have several other people who will be helping me steer this ship. Our first role player tonight is our timekeeper. Our timekeeper is Matsidiso Misotamaki, who you saw as our SAA. I'd like to invite her back onto the stage to tell us a little bit about the role, maybe even tell us of the benefits and encourage someone in the audience today to take it up in future. Matsidiso Tamaki, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is my pleasure to serve as the timer for today's meeting. The whole purpose of taking up this role is to practice time management skills and also to ensure that this meeting runs as per the allocated time slots. Thank you. Over
Thank you
to
so
you.
much, Matsidiso. Would you like to demonstrate your timekeeping so that we can have information about how you'll be running the program?
Okay. With speeches that last 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I will be raising the green card. At 5 minutes, I will be raising the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. For speeches that take 5 to 7 minutes, at 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. For the later part of the meeting, for the evaluation segment, they take 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. For table topics, which take 8 to 10 minutes. At 8 minutes, I will raise the green card. 9 minutes, yellow card. And at 10 minutes, the red card. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Matsidiso, our timekeeper for this evening. Just as a reminder, please, Matsidiso, raise your hand so that you're the first pane we see and everyone can take note of those cards that you just mentioned. Another reminder is that our table topics are 1 to 2 minutes. This is where we'll be practicing another type of speaking. I'll let the table topic master explain, but at 1 minute, Matsidiso will show the green card. At 1 minute 30, she'll show the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, she'll show the red card. So please take note of that. Moving right along, I saw that our other role player is in the room. Our next role player is our grammarian and our I and am counter. She's holding a dual role. Kagelelo Mokgotsi, please come to the stage. Tell us about your role. Tell everyone in the audience today about the benefit of taking up this role and encourage them to do so next time. Kagelelo, over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Let me first start by wishing you a very happy new year. And greetings to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests, and visitors. Tonight, this evening, I have the privilege of playing the role of grammarian. This role is very important because it observes the correct usage of English language. I will note down any outstanding words, quotes, and saying. It is also my duty to introduce the word of the day, which is intentional, meaning to do something with intent, on purpose, and deliberately. For example, did you accidentally forget his name, or was it intentional? On my other role, which is the R counter, it is to note down any crunch. Sorry. It is to note down any crunch words or filler sounds like R and M that we use, and it takes away from the speech clarity. I will note them down and report later on during the meeting. Thank you very much, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Kagelelo, for that summary of both roles you'll be taking up. Indeed, they are beneficial to improve our vocabulary as well as our listening skills, because you have to listen and take note as and when you take those roles. Our next role player is our table topics master. Our table topics master is Lamim Tetra. Toastmaster Lamim Tetra, please come to the stage and explain your role, and indeed encourage another person to take this up next time. Lame, the stage is yours. You're muted, Lame, sorry.
You're not audible. Your volume is very low. Maybe increase your volume. Yeah, no, not really. I can hear the ending part of your sentence, but it just means that your volume is very, very low. I don't know what has happened. Technical challenges.
Yes. Lame, could we circle back to you and maybe ask another role player to speak? But you were audible just a few minutes ago, so I also don't know what's happening there. I'm so sorry. But let me quickly ask our other role player, our Hawk Master, Palesa Makato, to come and explain her role. Palesa, please take the stage.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, any visiting Toastmasters that we may have this evening. As already stated, my name is Palesa Makato, and I will be your Hug Master this evening. My role is a simple one, really. It's to encourage effective listening skills. So I encourage you all to pay attention to the prepared speeches and the table topics and the evaluators. Just pay attention to everything that everyone says, because at the end, I will draw up a quiz and quiz you on the content and information that was shared this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Hawk Master, for that interesting segment, which brings me to try and circle back to Lame. Lame, could we please try again? Perhaps you would be more audible now. Lame is our table topics master. It's another very important segment that we need to know the rules of. Lame, please attempt. Hi, Lame, your mic is on, but doesn't seem to be recording anything. Lame, are you winning? All right. Let me invite our general evaluator. Our general evaluator of the night is Tepo Eating Mahue. Tepo, please make your way to the stage and explain your role for our benefit. Tepo, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Tapo Maho, as highlighted, and I'll be the general evaluator for the day. For the benefit of our members and guests, I'm the general evaluator, and I conduct the evaluation portion of our meeting, which will happen later after the speech presentation. I'll be calling on a team to assist me with giving feedback to our speakers. And I will also evaluate the entire meeting as well at the end. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Lame, are you having any success?
How
Please
do I sound?
try. Yes, a lot better. Yes, a lot better.
My laptop connected itself to my headphones, so
Oh,
I don't have them with me. Okay. Once more, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and compliments to the new season of 2026. It is my pleasure to serve as a table topics master for today's meeting. As a table topics master, my role is to facilitate a very important segment in our Toastmasters meeting where we get an opportunity to practice our impromptu speaking. And this is how I will facilitate it. With me here, I have several questions, and later on, I'll be inviting volunteers to pick on any question that which none of us has gotten a chance to prepare them, and will be given 1 to 2 minutes to practice speaking off the cuff. So later I'll encourage that we volunteer for this segment to make it run very smoothly. Why did I take up this role? Taking up this role also motivated me to practice my organizational skills. As I already mentioned, that I had to come up with topics, so that meant I had to organize myself and also just my thinking skills. So I'm looking forward to seeing you volunteer for this segment later on. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
yay, thank you so much. With that said, that brings me to explaining the structure of our meeting. Our meeting is divided into 3 segments. The first segment is our prepared speeches, where our members have taken time to go and deliver a project. In Toastmasters, your project is delivered as a speech. So these members have taken our time to prepare, write those speeches. They've taken or gone through the lessons on our platform and have learned something and are prepared to deliver tonight. Tonight we have 3 speeches or 3 speakers on the program, and our next segment, as Lame has already highlighted, is the table topics segment, where we'll be practicing speaking off the cuff or speaking without preparation. Because indeed, if you meet someone in town, are you really prepared to talk to them? You didn't write a speech. So for 1 to 2 minutes, you will deliver a short speech speaking off the cuff. Our third and last segment is the evaluation segment, as our Madam General Evaluator, Tshepo Itsing Magoe, has alluded to. This is where we'll be getting our feedback, because indeed feedback is the breakfast of champions. Without further ado, I'd like for us to begin our first segment, which is the prepared speeches. As I said, we have 3 speakers tonight on the program. Each time I call upon a speaker, I will ask that the evaluator deliver a brief introduction to tell us the objectives of that speech. Because as I said, these speeches are projects, so they are objectives that must be met. Without further ado, our first speaker, this name looks familiar. Okay, our first speaker is Tumelo Maphalala, who will be evaluated by Palesa Makhato. So Palesa Makhato, please come onto the virtual stage, introduce Tumelo Maphalala, and also call her onto the stage, because unfortunately she can't call herself. But yes, over to you, Palesa.
Good evening once again. I come back. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Great. This evening, I have the distinct pleasure of evaluating a seasoned Toastmaster who's probably on like her 3rd pathway, if I'm not mistaken. I will be evaluating Tumelo Maphalala this evening. And the purpose of Tumelo Maphalala's speech this evening is to introduce herself to the club. Although she's done that many times, I'm looking forward to hearing how she's going to make it interesting for the benefit of the guests this evening. Tumelo Maphalala, I would like to welcome you to the stage. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
If you ever want to find out the truth about yourself, don't go to therapy, don't journal, don't even meditate. Move houses. I recently moved houses and amidst the bags and the boxes and everything that I saw I couldn't live without, my friend stood, looked across the living room and shouted, "Tumi, we should auction this." That's when I knew I had a problem. Good evening, Gaborone Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters, and guests. Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Tumelo Maphalala, and I am a hoarder. Before you jump to any conclusions, please let me clarify. I don't hoard rubbish and junk, no. I hoard potential. You know, those few notebooks with a few pages left in them, a paper here, a paper there for reference, clothes I might fit into if I lost a kg or two, or even sentimental things I don't quite remember why I kept, but just know they're important. Yes, I hoard important things. As a matter of fact, I don't think of myself as a hoarder. Hoarder is such a dirty word. I think I'm a maximalist, the opposite of minimalist. But I'm also so many different things. In my personal life, I'm firstly a daughter, the pride and joy of my parents. I come from a rich history and unfortunately some inherited habits. I'm also a sister, quite responsible if I say so myself. I'm a friend who offers an ear when needed and springs to the option or possibility of being a planner when requested. Lastly, I'm an aunt, and I'm deeply aware of the example that I'm setting for my 16-year-old niece. She gives me such grief. Professionally, I'm firstly a biologist. I was trained to observe, to question, and analyze facts of life. Second, and with my second qualification, I'm a project manager. I did project management. This has been by far my favorite professional role because I get to juggle timelines, risks, and deliverables. Third, and lastly, I'm a team leader. And most times I'm expected to be confident and lead the way when I'm also just discovering it myself. From a hobbies point of view, I'm a Toastmaster. I came here to find my voice and help others do the same. Sometimes I dabble in creativity. I write for fun. I also try and paint and draw at times, but I also enjoy and love reading with all of me. With each and every of these layers and labels, I've added an extra responsibility. But also, I've come to realize that much like my worldly possession, I hang on to these labels like maybe I should keep this, I might just need it in future. But my move was more than everything, but it was more than anything enlightening. It taught me so much about myself. I came to realize that I am a work in progress. I've given myself the permission to try and just figure this out. You should too. And maybe in future, might I move again and someone scream and shout, "We should auction this." I might just answer, maybe we should. because maybe in my next label, I might be an auctioneer and a minimalist at long last. I thank you.
Woo, 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 woo. Woo, woo.
Hi, I come back. Wow, please unmute and give Tumelo a round of applause. That was her third icebreaker, by the way.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Moving right along, our second speaker is Leya Musunga. Leya Musunga is pursuing the Persuasive Influence Pathway, Level 1, Project 4, and her evaluator is Julie Davies. Julie, please come onto the virtual stage and introduce Leya, after which I will call her onto the stage. Thank you.
Greetings, 2026. Greetings, new beginnings. To fellow Toastmasters, visitors, and guests, but most especially our esteemed Leya Musunga. How am I going to evaluate this legend of Toastmasters? Can I tell you how I'm going to do it? I'm going to look at what we can learn from her because she's got so much to share with us, if I may do that. The path which Leya is pursuing is persuasive influence, and I suspect is not her first path. How many paths have we done, Leya? 4. I've shattered nerves. So the project in this path is number 4. It has a time of 5 to 7 minutes. And the task which she is given is to do a speech, receive the evaluation, and then do a follow-up speech where she applies the evaluation which is given to her the previous time. Now, the goal which she is intentional upon this evening is to work on her vocal variety. Also, she wishes to improve upon her movement on the stage, movement which should be purposeful and engaging. Something else that she wants me to check up on is that she has a good closing statement. So let's all of us together watch Leya and see if she applies these goals which she has for her specific speech this evening. Lame Musunga, her topic is time. Time, Lame Musunga. Tumelo, do you want to introduce?
I'll just repeat the title, but yes, you did a great job, Julie. So with a speech titled Time, Leya Musunga. Leya Musunga, Time.
Carl Sandburg once said, time is a coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. Normally, during the December holidays, it is my time to be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy one of my favorite hobbies, watching movies. This past December, I had that opportunity to watch a lot of different movies, but some of my favorites were from my favorite director, Christopher Nolan. You might have heard of him, you might not have, but he is my favorite director. After watching a couple of his movies, I realized that there is a certain theme that you will find in most of his movies. He is obsessed with time. Tonight, I'm going to share with you 3 movies that I watched where I saw this obsession with time. The first movie I watched was Batman, a movie that came out in 2005. This movie tells the story of our main character, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, and how one incident in his past life, when he was 10 years old, directed the rest of his life. You could say that incident that happened when he was 10 made him stand still in his life, as everything that he did was directed by that one event, which was the passing of his parents. The second movie that I watched was released in 2010, Inception. The basic premise of Inception is about time slowing down. How does time slow down in Inception? It basically happens through the subconscious. 3 minutes in the subconscious can be like you have spent a long time in our normal time. For example, there's a scene where they spent 24 hours in the subconscious, and a person had basically lived their entire life from adulthood all the way up to the person became an old person. In this movie, he was dealing with time slowing down. The third movie I watched, released in 2010, was called Tenet. And in this movie, time is moving back. How does time move back? Well, in the movie, they tell us about time being inverted. That basically means people are able to travel back into time. And when you are in the present, are observing this phenomena happening, it looks like the people are moving backwards. Standing still, slowing down, going backwards. These are some time aspects I picked up from the movies that I watched during the holidays. The year just started, 2026. I'm sure you have goals and items that you want to be able to achieve. I hope you will not be like Bruce Wayne, wanting to stand still and not move forward because of something that has happened in the past. Maybe you're wishing you could slow it down because you feel there's so much you want to do, but there isn't enough time. You could be wanting to go back because you've got regrets and things that you wish you had done differently. Unfortunately, we don't live in a Christopher Nolan world. The 1st of January 2026, we were all allotted 525,600 minutes of time, 2026. How are you going to spend that time this year? There's an old quote by Mother Teresa that says, "Yesterday is gone, Tomorrow has not yet come. We only have today to begin. We live in a linear aspect of time. So no matter how much we try to want to stand still, time keeps moving forward. No matter how much we want to slow it down, time keeps moving forward. Or maybe we may want to go back. Unfortunately, time keeps moving forward. How are you going to spend your time in 2026? Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Please unmute and give Leah a loud round of applause. Well done, Leah, on that beautiful speech. I, for one, don't geek over movies to the point of knowing the director. So big up to you. Moving right along, our third and final prepared speaker of the evening is Toastmaster Helper Zhou. Toastmaster Helper Zhou will be evaluated by our lovely Toastmaster Lami Mtetwa. Lami Mtetwa, please come onto the virtual stage and introduce Helper's speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tumelo Maphalala. Once more, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This evening, I'm wearing two hats, and which another hat is as an evaluator. And this evening, I have the privilege of evaluating Helper speech. And the objectives of Helper speech is to learn about and apply the skills needed to run a lesson learned meeting during a project or after its completion. This means at one point, Helper has led a team. He has led a team to complete a project or has met with the team on many occasions, most recently. So with this speech, he'll be presenting on the the skills he learned on running a lesson learned meeting. Well, all the best to you, Helper Zhou. Over to you, Tumelo Maphalala, to introduce Helper Zhou.
Thank you so much, Lami Mtetwa. With the speech titled Lessons Learned, Helper Zhou, Lessons Learned.
Have you ever had this interesting feeling that the more you worked, you invested your effort, the more it just felt chaotic, confusing? In fact, exhaustion and frustration multiply. I know a good number of you may relate with it, maybe some not. But it is a genuine feeling that a good number of us at one point in time have felt or experienced. Madam Toastmaster, fellow multipliers, a lovely evening to you all. I remember it was February 2024. Excited as ever, launching one of the most exciting projects focusing on building an AI platform for small and medium enterprises. And guess what? The team was excited. The mood was just electric. Everybody was ready to go. Because we're not just building software, we're building hope. Hope for an average SME that was struggling to make ends meet, who was faced with the likelihood of failure because they had no other option except a tech-enabled solution to run their business. I was really on third moon, leading a team spanning across Europe, the Americas, and of course, Mother Africa. But it was just then before things got out of control. Yes, deadlines started piling up. Complexity exploded. And Talk about logistical nightmare, all cemented with multiculturalism that I had no clue how to handle. It was one of the toughest times of my life. And what do? I had to up the time, working 18 hours, trying to catch up. I was afraid I was losing the project and in the process, losing myself. It was a scary moment I've ever been a part of. I was trapped in a crisis. After countless trials, it was all in vain. The project was almost lost. I then had to summon the little energy left in me. With intention, I remember setting the deadline, saying, guys, we have to meet. This is life and death. And the team came together. I was so humbled by the reality of what was facing. And I had only one option, to listen to what they were saying. And there was I, sick at sight, deeper in thought, listening to what my team was saying as part of our lesson learned activity. I heard them all submitting their concerns, their frustrations. And it was out of it that I flipped the script, taking it from the legendary Jimmy Rohn, that we don't rise to the levels of our goals, we fall to the levels of our systems. I had no system in place. That was the worst nightmare I had. So what did I do? I just had to get my leadership models well defined. Firstly, I need to understand, I had to understand that I was not a maker, that is, involved in the operationalization of every aspect of the project. I was neither a marker reviewing every script from the testing team. My role, from what I got from the 360 reviews of the team, I was a multiplier. I was supposed to harness the effort of the team and release them so that they can realize who truly they were. It was only that in the seedbed of failure, innovation was going to crack out and be realized. And what happened? I developed 3 core tenets to turn around the project. Firstly, psychological safety. I had to stop being the yes man. I had no answers. It was embarrassing. As an African, you don't have to admit you don't know at times. I had to learn it's actually mature to agree you don't know. I had to let my team say to me, we don't know. And they say that with confidence. Secondly, I had to come up with a structured cadence. You need to know how to report and how does your work effort contribute to the culmination of a project that we all wanted. It all worked out so well. And finally, something almost counterintuitive to some of you, I started rewarding failure. Yes, failure is beautiful if you are harnessing it as part of learning a lesson. I discovered that failure was the true seedbed of endless and relentless innovation. It was in the lab of experimentation, not perfection, where breakthrough technologies were realized. From time immemorial to date, if you embrace failure, you become the best. I told my team, go ye, multiply failure responsibly. And you guessed it. What happened? Morale shifted. The team was excited. Everybody was over the moon because they knew I was not there to police them. I was there to work along with them. Our project, of course, as I speak, landed. Last year, we managed to just release a couple of splinter projects, thanks to the lessons that I learned from that particular meeting. I knew that you need to understand, where are you standing? Are you a maker? Are you a marker or a multiplier? This is the question I present before you, fellow multipliers. Because if you don't know, you will compound and multiply confusion other than clarity with intention. Just take it from me, and if you did, go ye and multiply. Madam Toastmaster.
Please unmute yourselves and give Helper a wonderful round of applause.
I forgot them.
I don't know whether
Wow.
to commend him for his great leadership skills, or for all the gems he dropped tonight, because go forth and multiply failure, an interesting concept. But that was a wonderful speech, Helper. We love it when you visit our club. For those who may not know, Helper is another Toastmaster from a different country. I believe Helper is in Zimbabwe, I think, or SA, South Africa.
It's in South Africa.
Yes, yes, Helper is in South Africa. Thank you so much for visiting. And without further ado, I'd like to call our timekeeper
Umlazi.
to just. Oh, my apologies, Julie. Help us from Umlazi Toastmasters Club, and we love it when they visit our club. She too is. So thank you so much. Timekeeper Matidiso Tamaki, please come to the virtual stage and tell us how our speakers did in terms of time.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Our first speaker of the day, Tumelo, took 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Our second speaker, Ms. Leya, took 6 minutes, 50 seconds. And lastly, Helper took 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, our timekeeper, Matidiso Tamaki. Without further ado, I'd like to call onto the virtual stage our table topics master, Miss or Toastmaster Lami Mteta. Lami, please grace our stage and deliver that well-awaited opportunity for us to practice our impromptu speaking.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tumelo. I'm still recovering from Helper's amazing speech. I'm back again to the virtual stage, and this time around as the table topics master. As I had alluded earlier, that I have with me 6 questions, and I'll be inviting volunteers to the virtual stage to try on these topics. Believe me, they are easy topics. They are based on our theme for this meeting, which is new beginnings. So any takers? Any takers? Madam Zoom Master, assist if maybe there is someone
Julie
who
would
has
like to take a table topic.
Who?
Julie.
Julie. Okay. Good evening, Julie.
Hi.
Okay. Yes, Julie, with me here, I have 6 questions. You can just pick a number and I will share the topic with you. And you have 1 to 2 minutes to go for the table topic.
4.
Number 4. Ha! This is a very interesting one, Julie. Number 4 says, share a lesson you learned from a failure. Share a lesson you learned from a failure. Over to you, Julie.
To share a lesson that I learned from a failure. Thank you for this very important and valuable question. One which I shouldn't be the only person to answer this. Hello, Toastmasters. I greet you. We should all be looking at ourselves with a little less confidence and bravado and ego. Because if you and me, if we go trotting along through life and we always think we're in the right, and we always think that our opinion is better than the other person's opinion, we're never going to learn anything. Every time we think we're right, we're not going to change, we're not going to progress. there have been times when I have failed. And it's a bitter pill to swallow. It's really hard. If you are confident with yourself, sit back and reassess and think, I failed. Now, am I supposed to tell you one incident when I failed? Because I can think of and it's exactly the same as Helper Zhou said. We don't learn from our achievements. We learn from our failures. And I have made a multitude of failures. And hopefully, I'm going forwards and I'm learning from those many failures, not just one. And I hope you all do as well. Think about it. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie, for that. Any other takers? Any other takers? Madam Zoom Master, do you see anybody who has their hand up? Any takers?
I'd like to nominate Buipilo Mwalusi Omiat.
Bipilo, you've been nominated to take the second table topics.
Wow, okay. I'm happy to take one. How can I refuse?
You
Yes,
don't have any
I'll go
choice,
for number one.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't have any choice. I'll go for number one.
Number one. Okay, Toastmaster Bipilo. If you could start one area of your life over today, what would it be and why? If you could start one area of your life over today, what would it be and why? Over to you, Toastmaster Bipilo.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Table topics master. That's a very interesting question you are raising. What would I start if I were to start over something? I think it would be working on building my confidence. If there's one thing that has failed me throughout my life, throughout my career, is a lack of confidence to be able to take on things that we are normally very uncomfortable with. For instance, we are here, all of us, in Toastmasters, trying to build our communications and leadership skills so that we can progress in our careers, especially, and in life in general. I would focus on really building confidence from just as a child. You know, if it was possible for me to go back to being a 2-year baby who's learning how to talk, learning how to walk, and other areas of life, my focus area would be engaging in team activities, engaging in placing myself in positions that would require me to really develop my confidence. But I am intentional with that. For me, by me being here, it's to say, you know, it's a step in the right direction to say I am now building my confidence so that I can progress in life. And I do encourage all of us here to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bipilo, and all the best in your journey of building your confidence. As Tumelo volunteered, someone I'd like to also volunteer, Christina. I saw Christina Motobi in the room. Christina, are you there? Christina.
I think she dropped off.
Oh, she dropped off. Okay, any volunteer?
I volunteer our visiting Toastmaster from Pretoria, Pepper Malabon.
Okay. Toastmaster Pepper, you've been volunteered to take up the next table topics question. Toastmaster Pepper. I hope they have not also dropped off the meeting.
No, she's still on the call.
Okay, Toastmaster Pepper. Any other takers while we're still waiting for Toastmaster Pepper? Any other takers? Can I volunteer? Abaleng? Abaleng?
Hello,
Hello, Abaleng.
Emma. Hello.
Would you like to take up a table topics question
Okay.
and practice your impromptu speaking? Okay, which number between? I'm left with number 2, number 3, number 5, and number 6.
Okay. Let me try to. Number 6.
Number 6.
Yes.
Okay. Number 6. What new habit are you trying to build? What new habit are you trying to build?
Okay. The new habit that I'm trying to build.
Fine.
Oh, sorry.
Now, I think I can repeat the question for you if you want me to repeat the question again.
Yes, it was, which new habit am I trying to build?
Yes, what new habit are you trying to build?
I am trying to be more assertive and to speak more clearly and to be able to get my point across without mincing or tripping over my words. It is part of why I joined Toastmasters. I believe at times I have a rush of thoughts that prevents me from relaying my point in a clear and concise manner. So that is one of the skills I'm trying to learn this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Abaleng. And I'd like to say you are in the right place. And yes, all the best into building that new habit. Pepper, are you still available to take up or any other volunteer? Any other volunteer going once, twice? Any other volunteer? Monet?
I want to volunteer a new member, but I don't know if it's too soon.
Okay.
Hi.
Toastmaster Tilagani, you've been volunteered to take up the last table topics.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Tilagani.
I just logged in and I'm struggling with my connection. I don't know if you can all hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. You are audible.
Okay. I'm still struggling with my video as well. I don't know if you can see me.
Your video doesn't seem to be on. But we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Hi everyone. My name is Thulaganyo Tshwanagae. I guess I'm a new member of the club. I've been meaning to join this club for a long time now, and I'm glad that today was the day that I made that decision, to actually register. I'm looking forward to really working on myself and learning and growing myself from this club. And I guess the next session, I'll be able to fix my video, come early, and get on with the program properly. Yes, thank you.
You're allowed to take on a table topics question this evening. So you can just, I have number 2, number 3, and number 5. You can just pick any number and then you give it a try.
What were the questions? I just joined in like 10 minutes ago. What are the questions?
I have number 2, number 3, and number 5. So you can pick a number and then I will read out the question for you.
Oh my God. Okay, say the numbers again.
Number 2, number 5, and number 3.
Let's go with lucky number 5.
Lucky number, your lucky number is number 5.
Oh.
Okay, Thulaganyo. So you have, I'm going to say this question and you have 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay.
If you moved to a new city or new country, what would you do differently? If you moved to a new city or country, what would you do differently?
Interesting question. I think if I was to given the chance to move to a different country, I think I would just expand more of my personality when I'm in a different country. I think it will give me room to really make friends, just be an open person, be out more, approach strangers. Just, I think, expand more on my personality. That's what I would do. That's what I would do, honestly.
Well done, Thulaganyo.
Just doing things that I'll not necessarily do here, just being a person that I know that I can be. And I think it's always easier when you start in a different environment where a lot of people don't know of you, right? I think that makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense, and well done for giving it a try. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the end of our table topics section. Thank you for everyone who participated, and I believe that we learned so much from that session. There were nuggets we took away from the session, and I hope with the next meeting we will have more volunteers to practice that impromptu speaking. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Madam Table Topics Master. Indeed, that was a lovely segment. And Table Topics, for the benefit of those that are new, is just named after the fact that when you're sitting at a table with someone, you have not prepared to speak. So these are just topics you may have. That's why we ask random questions, but you answer what comes top of mind. There's no right or wrong answer, but it's just there for us to practice our unprepared speaking. With that said, let's move on to another segment, my favorite, if I say so myself, the Hack Master segment. Our Hack Master of the evening is Toastmaster Palesa Makhato. She will introduce this segment, tell us what we're going to do, and please do oblige her and play by her rules. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Palesa Makhato.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Like I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, I will be your Hack Master this evening, and I really hope you are listening this evening. Luckily for you, I have only created questions from the prepared speakers, so let's get straight into it. So what we will do is I will ask a question and you will all scream out the answer. Hopefully it will be the correct answer. Are we good? I hope everyone is unmuted. Please unmute your mic. It's a fun segment. Don't be frightened. Great.
Yay!
I believe everyone is unmuted. Right. First things first. Who shouted to me? We should auction this.
Tumelo's friend.
Tumelo.
I didn't get that.
Tumelo's friend.
Tumelo's friend,
Tumelo.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, friend.
Tumelo said she doesn't hoard material things. What does she hoard?
Ambition.
Potential.
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 You answer.
Oh, sorry.
Ma'am, please mute your mic. What was the answer?
Potential.
Next up, Tumelo mentioned that she is a biologist, a project manager, and what else? What's the third thing that she highlighted in her profession?
Team
Project
leader.
management.
Team leader.
Team leader.
Yeah, team leader.
Project
Yeah.
management.
Team leaders.
Team leader.
Yes. How many icebreakers has Tumelo done?
3.
4. Oh, was this the fourth one? 3.
4.
4.
4.
4. I think this is the fourth one.
Final answer?
3.
4.
3.
I'm going with Leya. 3.
3.
Okay. The correct answer is 3.
Yay.
Leya mentioned that she has a favorite pastime. What?
Watching movies.
Watching movies.
Yes. Watching
Checking
her
the
director.
directors of the movies.
What?
Action.
Leya 3 movies in her speech. What is the first movie she mentioned?
Batman.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take them.
Ah.
Okay, better. In Leya's speech, she mentioned that we are all at the 1st of January 2026. We were all at a certain number of minutes. How many minutes were those?
3.
Please repeat. We are all what?
Leya said that at the beginning of the year, basically the 1st of January 2026, we are all allotted a certain number of minutes. How many of those?
Thousands and thousands of minutes.
525,600
600.
minutes.
15,000.
This is not a sing-along, ma'am. What's the answer?
Hundred.
What's the answer?
506,000. That one.
Going one. Going twice.
You're still calculating.
24 times 3.
525,600.
525,600.
Yes. Yes.
25,600.
I know it as a song, Balisa. Not
This
the
is
digits.
No, you got it correct. 525,600 minutes. Right. Leah quoted a saying or an adage from a famous author or poet who.
Maya Angelou.
Ma'am?
Yes, that was Maya Angelou.
Okay, the quote was talking about yesterday, tomorrow, and today.
Yes.
Oprah Winfrey.
George Harrison? Who is it? Yes. I don't know.
The famous Catholic.
Yeah, there's a
Pope John Francis.
words around. His email.
Teresa.
Yay!
I was guessing.
Oh, so you weren't listening, you were guessing, right?
No, Leah gave us a clue.
Oh, the famous Catholic. Oh.
Yeah, Leah gave us a clue.
Okay. Next up, when was Helper's AI platform launched? I want the month.
February.
Please repeat that.
February 2024.
Okay, yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Helper mentioned that they weren't just building a software, they were building
a system.
Hope.
Final answer.
Hope. I think he said hope.
Final answer.
A system.
Final answer.
Multipliers.
No.
Hope.
Hope is correct. Helper also mentioned that he received reviews from his team which revealed that he was a
Great leader.
No.
Multiplier.
No.
Yes, man.
Rider.
Yes, man.
Marker.
It's multiplier. You got it correct. Somebody said multiplier in the background.
Yes.
So, yes.
Yes,
You were listening. We have come to the end of the Heartmaster session. I'm pleased to report that you were indeed listening because you got majority of questions correct. Thank you everybody for participating. This was a fun section. Thank you, and back to you, table Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Madam Hackmaster. That Hackmaster segment was hard. I only knew the answers to my questions. But anyway, it was fun nonetheless. I love the drama. And thank you to everyone who managed to unmute and participate. It's for us to all participate. So next time, when someone nudges you and asks you to unmute, just unmute and participate. It really wouldn't hurt. But with that, we've come to the third and final segment of the night, our evaluation segment. So this evaluation segment will be ran by our general evaluator who introduced herself earlier this evening. Our general evaluator is Tepo Iting Mahowe, who I will hand the reins over to continue that segment, after which she will call upon our president to close the meeting. Over to you, Tepo Iting Mahowe.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Like I mentioned earlier on, I'll be leading the evaluation segment. So without wasting any time, I'll call upon Palesa Makatu, who was evaluating Tumelo Maphalala, to give feedback on the presentation. Palesa?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This is probably the third time you see me on your screen tonight. Hopefully, it'll be the last. I had the distinct pleasure of evaluating Tumelo, who was doing her third icebreaker at Toastmasters. Tumelo, well done. You exceeded my expectation, especially because if you do remember at the beginning when I introduced you, I did say I was wondering how you're going to be able to introduce yourself because you've done it so many times before. But you managed to do that very well. I will be giving my evaluation in 3 parts. First thing, I will let you know what I loved and enjoyed about your speech. Secondly, I will go on to what I would have liked to see. And thirdly, something for you to challenge yourself. First things first, you said, my name is Tumelo Maphalala. If that doesn't introduce somebody, I don't know what does. You gave us your name. For the benefit of our guests this evening, the ones that don't know you or aren't familiar with you, you told them exactly who you are. Straightforward. Secondly, I loved that you told us about your personal life, who you are personally, who you are professionally, and your hobbies. That ticks every box of who am I. You told us that you're a biologist, you're a team leader, you're a sibling, you're a sister, you're a daughter, you're an aunt. That was amazing. After that, you also told us about your hobbies here at Toastmasters. Like I said, you did it exceptionally, telling us each step of your life. If I was in the street and I was asked what type of person is Tumelo, I could be able to articulate well who Tumelo Maphalala is rather. In terms of what I would have liked to see, although you told us who you are professionally, who you are personally, and your hobbies, I would have liked for you to dig a little deeper. Yes, we know you're a hoarder, and that was the basis of your speech. But outside of those, what else is there about Tumelo Maphalala? Your character, maybe. I like to laugh, I'm introverted, etc., etc. Something that speaks to your character as a person and not just the external parts that we see. I would have liked to hear that come out in your speech a little more. In terms of things to challenge yourself, I believe that you've been on the Toastmaster stage for a very long time, and I would have liked to see you utilize the space more. Your hand gestures were great. You know, there were points where you said layers, which was nice, and holding on, which was you depicting and showing hand gestures. But I believe you didn't utilize the stage that you had. You were confined to one area of the stage where I would have liked to see you move about oscillate from one end to the other, not where it's distracting to the eye, but where it's more purposeful for the speech that you were giving. Otherwise, I enjoyed your speech and I look forward to hearing your next speech, Tumelo Maphalala. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Palesa, for that valuable feedback to Tumelo. I'm sure she'll be able to incorporate that into her next speech. Next up on the evaluation list is Julie Davis, who was evaluating Leya Musunga. Julie.
Thank you. And good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters, and most especially Leya. Now, Leya is a most experienced toastie, so we are going to look at what she did so well, what we can learn from her speaking skills, and also, did she fulfill the challenges of the task which she had? And there were three things that Leya was trying to work on. The first one was having a good closing to her speech. The second one was to have, so I should be using my fingers. The first one was to have a good closing to the speech. The second one was to use more vocal variety. And the third one was to use the area, the space, and the stage better. So I'm going to be intentional in my evaluation regarding those aspects. To start off with, the opening was a quote, and the closing statement was a quote. A what? It was a quote. So the whole speech was well-rounded and well-structured, and the goal was fulfilled that the closing statement was achieved. It was profound, it was intentional, and it was strong. Secondly, a very useful tip, which all Toastmasters do, which we can all copy from Leya, is that she used the group of three. She spoke about the first movie, the second movie, and the third movie. Just a trick that all Toastmasters can do, and Leya uses it because she's very experienced. The third point which I'd like to bring to your attention is something I've had the privilege of watching Leya speak many times whilst I've been visiting Gaborone, and I saw something tonight, which Leya, respectfully, I would like to say, I've not really seen before. Leya spoke more naturally. She told a story. She engaged the audience. It was less, it didn't feel like it was prepared. It didn't feel like it was memorized. And so we were engaged more. So storytelling grabs the audience better. So that was a notable improvement. I'd like to mention a couple of things which I thought were going to go wrong, but they didn't. When she went onto the camera, first of all, I thought, oh, no, oh, this is going to go wrong. She had a light behind her. She was kind of like shining like an angel. But then she adjusted the lighting. She checked it before she started her speech. And the lighting then was much better. We all need to check our lighting, that it comes onto us at the front, not behind us or not coming down on us. Secondly, she was slightly off center, but she managed to adjust herself into the center of the screen. Vocal variety was something that she really was trying to improve upon. There was only one time when I thought that that could have been done better. It was when she spoke about the passing of his parents. She said it like that, the passing of his parents. It could have been the passing of his parents. That was a very important sentence, and we didn't need to say it strongly. We would say sentences like that with more compassion. However, what was achieved that was brilliant, which was intentional, were the changes of pace. Time slowed down. The camera usage, time went backwards. When she spoke to us directly and involved us in the speech by asking you, the listener, to join in and think about what she was saying. In other way, she said, he was obsessed with time. And there was emphasis on the words. It wasn't as though she had memorized it. It was as though she just thought of this brilliant phrase that he was obsessed with time. So it came across much better. Something that I'd like us all to remember is that Words don't have to be big. Words can be small, but it's the way that we say them. Not just I hope. I hope. Which one sounds better? The second one. Not just everything, but everything. Not just time, but time. Not just wishing, but wishing. Thank you, Leya. Do you know what you taught us the most tonight, Leya? As an experienced Toastmaster, you showed us that it doesn't matter how many times you've made speeches. There's always a point for improvement, some way to grow, some way to progress. So you've never learnt it all, like was in my topics. We all learn all the time, and we all learn from each other all the time. So Leya, you showed us that you are still learning and you are still growing, and we too can learn from you. Thank you for teaching us so much tonight.
Thank you, Julie. You gave a very detailed feedback to Leah's speech. Now up next is Lami Mtapa, who will be evaluating Helper Zhou's speech. Ladies and gentlemen, may I please help me welcome Lami. Sorry. Lami.
Lesson learned by Multiplier Helper Zhou. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever had this interesting feeling? That's how Multiplier Helper Zhou started his speech. Just by raising that question, he grabbed my attention. I wanted to know more about this feeling that Helper wants to talk about. Have you ever had this interesting feeling? Yes, Helper, I've had this interesting feeling. And what is this interesting feeling that Helper talked about? Helper took us on a journey of how he embarked on a project with the team. He started first by telling us that he mentioned the project that he was requested to do. He went on to tell us about the mood of this team. At first, the team was excited as well as he was excited. He even told us that he was over the moon about this project. Things eventually got out of control. What does that mean? The mood of the team as well as of Helper changed because he was trying to catch up with deadlines. He was trapped in a lot of crisis. He felt like he had lost the project. But what was the turnaround moment for Helper? Where the lesson came from? The lesson came from when he started listening to his team. And eventually he was able to learn that he is a multiplier. His strength is him being a multiplier. And guess what Helper did? He used that strength to the benefit of the team by listening to the team, by listening to all the suggestions and opinions of the team. What did he do? Not only did he listen, but he took the learning points from that meeting and started implementing them. He made sure that now there was a team of people. He made sure that he established a system and a structure, something that he realized that he lacked before he listened to his team. That's where the turnaround came in. We started seeing the flow of the projects. We started seeing the mood change again within his team. People getting excited, people getting engaged, people getting involved. And that led to the project being launched. Helper, what can you challenge yourself on next time? Your body language, it's something to work on. Most of the time, you moved with each and every of your sentence. Next time, work on standing, saying out an opinion without moving your hands or without moving your body. That is to say, let your body language, that is your hand gestures, be purposeful. Use them to either emphasize a point. What you can challenge yourself, helper, the positioning of your camera. Most of your speech, you appear like you were looking away from us. I'll try to show you. I don't know if it'll come out well. This is me facing the camera. I am able to maintain eye contact. The moment I look away from the camera, it shows me as not as me looking away from the audience. So that is one thing to be mindful of. All in all, you did well, helper. You achieved the objectives of your speech. You were supposed to show us the skills you learned in applying a lesson learned meeting. And you did that very well by taking us on a journey of what that project is, what started, how the mood was in the meeting, and very importantly, the turnaround moment, which was the lesson you learned and how you took that lesson and you implemented it to make the project well. Well done once more, helper. Your new name now is Helper Zhou. And I wish to hear more of your speeches in your other Toastmasters meeting. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Lame. That is the end of the evaluation segment. Now moving right along, I'll be calling upon the role players to give us feedback on how we did with the different areas which they undertook. We had a grammarian who was also the RM and AM counter, Ms. Kagello Mohotsi. Kagello, please come through and report on how the meeting did on both the grammarian and the AM counter side. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Greetings once more. Madam General Evaluator, you will agree with me that today was a speaking masterclass with all our seasoned speakers taking the stage. My report goes as follows. In terms of our counter, I did not note any use of crunch or filler words from the delivered speech. I, however, noted several lip smacking. From the the table topics, Julie had no crunch or filler words. Abale had 2 arms. Tulaganyo had 3 arms. The evaluations, Julie had no crunch or filler word. Lami had 1 arm. Palisa had no crunch or filler word. Moving right along to my grammarian report. Tumelo, I loved the metaphor. She holds potential. But before I go on, let me say I had internet connection problems. So my internet was buffering and I might have missed some of the gems from Tumelo and Leya's speeches. Leya, I must commend you on your taste on the movie directors. I'm a movie fanatic myself, and Christopher Nolan is one of the GOATs, the greatest directors in Hollywood. So her report goes as follows. She had quotes in her speeches. One, she quoted Mother Teresa. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not come. We only have today to live. Helper speech had quotes. I did note the quote that he used. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our system. His speech was so colorful with metaphoric language. For example, he flipped the script, go ye and harness failure, which I did love. I did not note any usage of the word of the day. In table topics, I noted the words that I'll be adding to my vocabulary from Palesa when she was delivering her evaluation. She said you need to oscillate from one end to the other. I will sure be adding it to my vocabulary. Julie Davis had used the word of the day, intentional. And like I said, I might have missed some of the gems and the usage of the word of the day in Tumelo and Leya's speech. And that's how far my report goes. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you, Kahello. It is important to get our message across well within the allocated time and for the meeting to run within schedule. Now, next up is our timer, Matsidiso Tamaki. Please come through and give us your report.
Okay. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. My timekeeper's report is as follows. We had Palesa Makatu who was evaluating Tumelo Maphalala. Palesa evaluated in 3 minutes 30 seconds. We had Julie who was evaluating Ms. Leya Musunga. Julie went a little over time and spoke for 5 minutes 30 seconds. We had Lame who was evaluating helper. Leya spoke for 4 minutes 30 seconds. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Matsidiso. Now that we are done with the evaluations and the role players, I'll evaluate or say a few comments on the meeting as a whole. First, let me start off by congratulating Gaborone Toastmasters on their first meeting of the year and say you did very well. The meeting started on time and the agenda was run well within time and completed within the allocated 2 hours. It's now 7:45 and we are almost done with the agenda. We did well on that. Next point that I want to raise is that the meeting role players explain their roles very well, enough for the attendees to understand what different roles entailed. So it was easy for us to follow through and be able to engage and see what was expected throughout the meeting. Our speakers were well prepared. Additionally, the evaluators provided valuable feedback appropriate for the level of experience of different speakers. So the evaluators did very well on that. Apart from that, there is one point that I want to raise that the club could improve on. Our agenda was shared today. Next time, let's try to share the agenda well on time so that we are all aware of what is going to happen during the meeting before the meeting takes place. Other than that, like I said, congratulations to Gaborone Toastmasters on a well-delivered, well-prepared meeting, being the first of 2026. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Is Tumelo still on the call?
It's fine. You can hand back to me. And thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, for that evaluation session. And at this point, I would just like to find out from our one or two guests who are, if they're still here, just to tell us how did you find our meeting. So let me just see. I know I'd spoken to Sam before the meeting started to see if the person is still here. Okay. Hi, Joanna. But I think, yeah, you're visiting us from South Africa.
Hello.
Hi, how was the meeting?
Very interesting and, very insightful. I think, yeah, it resonated well with me, especially I think there was a lady who spoke about if there's one thing that she could have done earlier is like boosting her confidence at the early stage while she was 2 years and start working around that at that point because I think there's a saying in Sesotho which says "Thuto o le mogolo ya roba," or something like that. So I really resonate with what she was saying and I also feel the same way. But overall the meeting was very interesting and thank you so much for the invite.
All right. Now, thank you so much for joining us. I think any other, hi, not Tsepo Mahoe. I see there's another Tsepo on the call. Hi, Tsepo. How did you find the meeting?
Hi, everybody. Hello, Toastmasters, Botswana Club. I'm really happy to have joined today. It's my first time ever being a guest in Toastmasters. Firstly, it's extremely organized. I was happy to realize that there's an agenda, there's a timekeeper. So I was really happy to see how organized everything is. I think there'll be a bit of a learning curve in terms of learning all of the roles. But I did realize that the agenda has the second page that explains all of the roles and everything. So that makes it really easy. It was really exciting to see people actually give speeches. There was a lot of clarity in the voices, a lot of animation, a lot of variety in the vocals and everything that I myself would like to improve. So I want to believe I'm in the right place. So thank you, Toastmasters. It was quite interesting and I'm excited about the future and joining the club.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's amazing. I hope you have reached out already to our Vice President of Membership, Kahalelo, who would have
I will
shared.
have to after this.
Oh, right. So if Kahalelo is still on the call, just put your contacts in the chat so that if anyone is interested in joining Cabroni Toastmasters, they can definitely reach out to you and you'll share with them additional information. I just want to find out one more guest. I see someone has even written guest against that name. Katleho. Hi, Katleho. How did you find the meeting? Hi, Katleho. Yeah, I see you have even added guest to the name. Okay, the person is away from the screen. Hello, Ola. Ola Murinda. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Are you a guest or you're visiting Toastmaster?
Yeah, I'm a guest. I just wanted to find out what the meeting was all about because I'm also trying to find my way in public speaking.
Oh, wow, wow. Okay. So how did you find the meeting?
It was very convincing that I should
That you should join.
yes. it was very convincing because when I look at the way people presented themselves, they presented themselves with confidence. So I think it will be a better choice for me to sign up.
Wow, that's amazing. I think our VP and Vice President membership, Kahalelo, has shared her contact number in the chat. So please reach out to her and you can be on the virtual stage with us at our next meeting that would be happening on the 25th of of January, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, the 27th of January, the 27th of January. So that's the date of our next meeting. So our next meeting will be online as we are slowly coming back into 2026. We hope to see you all back here. And if you are new, you've got goals for 2026, we hope that you will join us here at Gaborone Toastmasters. We're definitely here to help you to move on if you want to work on your public speaking skills. So join us and you could be here on the virtual stage with us on the 27th. I know our new member, Tulahanyo, welcome. At least she was able to give a table topics, and next meeting I know for sure she'll be giving her icebreaker speech. We're definitely looking forward to her joining. I know she paid today and she was meant to speak today, but yeah, she'll be speaking in our next meeting, and that could be you starting off 2026 with your goals already set. Like we said, new beginnings with intention. So we hope you will definitely begin 2026 the way you want it to end. With that being said, I want to just say one more time, thank you so much for joining us here at Gaborone Toastmasters for our first meeting of 2026. We'll be seeing you again on the 27th. Follow us on our social media pages to find out more of what's happening in our club and any other meetings that will be upcoming. We've got so much more lined up, exciting, that will be happening this year. So looking forward as we finish off our Toastmasters year. With that being said, and if I say that, I would like to then say good night. If you have any more additional questions that you might want to ask, I think I'll stay over the call and maybe some other people stay over so that we can answer any of your questions. And we will now stop the recording.